Okay, honest moment. This is my first time making cinnamon rolls for the channel. I've seen them so many times. I eaten them at the mall, but I was always a little bit scared to try. That soft fluffy dough. I thought you need 1,000 years of experience to get it right, but I did some research because that's just me. I found two things most recipes never tell you. One is a Japanese technique over 70 years old that keeps this dough soft for days, not just one day. The other thing is something that you pour over the roll right before they go in the oven. When you see it, you will think it's grown, but it's not. And the funny part, I already know the logic behind this dough because these rolls are not different from the Venezuelan golfeados. Same dough, same spiral, same love, just different feeling. So, if you know golfeados or if you see me make them, this will feel very familiar. For this recipe, we are going to need bread flour, which gives more structure than all-purpose, granulated sugar, instant yeast, salt, heavy cream, whole milk, 1 egg, vanilla, and unsalted butter at room temperature. We started with something you maybe haven't seen in other cinnamon rolls recipes you look at before landing here. 2 tablespoons of bread flour and 1/3 of a cup plus 1 tablespoon of whole milk. Mix it together while still cold. Now, onto the stove, low heat, we stir until this thickens into a paste. It's called Tangzhong. It's a Japanese technique, been around for decades, and it's what they use to make milk bread. That incredible soft Asian bread that if you ever tried, you know exactly what I mean. That cloud-like texture that is still just as soft the next day. Once it looks like this, thick, smooth, take it off of the head and let it cool completely. 2 active minutes of work, and it's the difference between a roll that dry tomorrow and one that's still perfect for Sunday morning breakfast. Now the dough. In a large bowl, start with dry ingredients: flour, sugar, and yeast. Mix them and then add salt and mix well again before adding any liquid. Make a well in the center of the dry ingredients and add the cream, milk, egg, vanilla, and the cold Tangzhong. Mix with a spoon or a spatula until no dry flour remains. It's going to look rough and shaggy. That's exactly what it should look like right now. And here is the first mistake almost everyone makes. When the dough feels sticky, every instinct tells you to add more flour. Don't. A sticky dough at this point is correct. Bring the dough to your work surface without flouring yet and start kneading. The motion is simple. Push forward with the heel of your hand, fold it back toward you, quarter turn. Repeat. Stick at the first. Keep going. And while we are here, if you are like me and you have always dissolved your yeast in warm milk with sugar before using it, you may be using instant yeast without knowing. I did that for years. Instant yeast doesn't need that step. It goes straight with the dry ingredients and activates on its own when the liquid heated. It still works if you proof it, but it's not necessary. After about 5 minutes, you'll notice it's starting to change. It's become less sticky, smoother, and softer. That's when you add the butter, in a small piece, a little at a time, letting each piece fully absorb before adding the next. Yes, the dough is going to look like a mess for a moment. Keep kneading. Total kneading time is about 12 to 15 minutes. You know it's ready when it feels smooth and elastic and barely stick to your hands. And when you gently stretch the dough between your fingers and it becomes translucent without tearing, that's called the window pane test. It means that the gluten is fully developed and the dough is ready to use. Transfer it to a greased bowl, cover it, and heat the rolls split. If you want them today, let it rest at room temperature for 1 hour or until double size. If you want them tomorrow, my favorite version, straight into the fridge in the bowl. No need to wait for it to rise. The fermentation happens overnight in the fridge instead. The next morning, take it out, let it sit at room temperature for 20 to 30 minutes to take the shell off. Dough's out, rested, and ready to work. Press it down gently to release the air. Dust your counter with a little flour. Roll it out on a lightly floured surface. Make a rectangle about 15 by 21 inch or 38 by 55 centimeters. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now for the filling, we are going to need brown sugar, butter, and cinnamon. First, mix the brown sugar and cinnamon together. Spread the softened butter across the entire surface, all the way to the edge. Then, the brown sugar and cinnamon mixture on top. Generous. Press it down gently so it sticks to the butter. Roll from the long side, tight but gentle. Think of it like rolling golfeados. Same motion, same logic. Pinch the edge at the end to seal. Now mark your cuts, about 1.5 inch each, roughly 4 centimeters. This recipe usually makes 12. I got 13. I guess the lucky number. To cut, use unflavored dental floss. Skip the knife. It will crush the spiral and ruin the layers. Slide the floss under the roll, cross the end over the top, and pull. Clean cut, perfect every time. If you want, as my daughter say, a more aesthetic look, press the end gently inward so the spiral push out a little on each side. Repeat until the rolls are cut. Place them in a greased pan lined with parchment paper. No parchment, grease the pan well with butter and dust it with a little flour. Works just well. Now, second rise. Cover them and let them sit for 45 minutes to an hour until they puff up and double inside. Press one gently with your fingers. If it springs back slowly, they are ready. Remember the heavy cream I mentioned? Here it is. Warm up a half cup of heavy cream. Pour it slowly over the rolls, right before they go in the oven. I know it looks strange, but trust me on this one. It creates steam inside the oven, keeps the rolls soft, and at the bottom of the pan, it caramelized with the sugar. That's the sticky golden layer that you get when they come out. This is the Cinnabon secret. Now into the oven. We'll bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes. For the frosting we'll need cream cheese, butter, powdered sugar, a little of heavy cream, and vanilla. In a bowl, add the cream cheese and butter at room temperature. Beat them together until completely smooth. If the cream cheese is cold, it's going to be lumpy, not good. Add the powdered sugar, a tablespoon of heavy cream to get it to flow, and vanilla. It should fall in rainbow, thick but fluid enough to pour on its own. Transfer the frosting to a piping bag. This gives you more control, and honestly, it looks much better. Go generous. This is not the moment to hold back. Let them sit for just a few minutes. Then, cut and serve. And try not to eat the whole pan. Look at that inside. Every layer soft, perfectly rolled, full of cinnamon. That caramelized base on the bottom. The frosting that melted all the way through. Look at this. The dough came out so soft, full of cinnamon, caramelized on the bottom. Let me try one. Wow! It just melts in your mouth. Look how it's pulled apart. See that stretch? That's exactly the texture we were going for. Look at those layers. All that cinnamon in every single one. This is dangerous. I don't want to share this with anyone. And the frosting is perfect, not too sweet. That little saltiness from the cream cheese balance everything out. Yes, this works. First time making this for the channel. And not the last one. If you make this, please do tell me in the comments or tag me on Instagram as Azucao. I love seeing yours. Before you go, 3 mistakes that I want to avoid. Number 1, too much flour because the dough is sticky. Don't. It's supposed to feel sticky. Keep kneading, skipping the rest time. That's where the flavor happens. No time today. That was the option of overnight for. Number 3, cutting with a knife. Use dental floss, seriously. Free, easy, and perfect cut every time. 2 questions I know are coming. Can I use a stand mixer? Okay, yes. Dog hook, medium speed, 8 to 10 minutes, same result, less work. Can I freeze them? Yes, definitely yes. Before the second rice, unbake. The night before, move them to the fridge. The next morning, rest, and then you bake. Perfect for Christmas, Thanksgiving, or any special morning. So, 2 things I found. Tangzhong, a Japanese technique that keeps this dough soft for days. And warm cream before baking, steam on the outside, caramelized bottom, that first bite you were hoping for. Not magic, just good reasons, and now there are yours. If you like this video, a like really helps. It shows you too this is worth sharing. Subscribe if you want more recipes like this, where we understand why and not just how. That's azucarado. Full recipe in the description. Cups and grams. Overnight tips too. Next video also has dough and also smell amazing. See you soon!